clubs and the next tier.
Well,
Football has changed. It's like that now anyway. If you look at the fucking table, 9 times out of 10, the wealth of the owners looks back at you. So
yeah, well, George, I will just bring to your attention what's happening in American sports. Like, so for example, in baseball or in particular, what happened is that New York Yankees, the LA Dodgers, and a few other big teams always outspent all the smaller clubs. So they had to put in salary caps, spending caps, wage caps to get at a more competitive playing field. And I will suggest to you that this, without that kind of those controls, the bigger players, the big clubs are going to outspend the smaller clubs because as they keep winning and accruing more fans and people. Because right now it's going to be international fan base that's going to count. I will say to you, the experience in America is that and it was all economic because they couldn't afford to have a non-competitive league where the same team kept winning all the time. So I would caution people who think that this is going to make the leagues more competitive. The experience.
But did it not though? You just said that they did that to make it more competitive.
They eventually had to do that.
What you mean is that the lower teams will find it more difficult to become competitive with the top teams. But the top teams might be more competitive amongst themselves if the salary caps, etc.
Yeah. Well, George, we're gonna be discussing this for a long time, but I think that there's a lot to think about when it comes to this Super League, and I for one, I'm not sure, but you have your own point of view.
No, I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
But what I am sure about is that I'm not sure, rather than
neither am I.
Absolutely dead against it. Like seems to be the popular thing, saying it'll ruin the game. The game's gone anyway. The game's changed completely, and this is the problem with football at the moment. That the majority of fans are clinging on to this outdated football model, an idea that Nottingham Forest could win the title and go on and win the European Cup twice in 2 years.
Yes.
Those days have gone.
And on that I agree, George. On that I agree.
And until fans accept that, they're going to be forever disappointed. The only way for Arsenal to become competitive again is for us to spend at similar levels to the teams above us. It's been like that for years and years and years. If a European Super League means that we will all be given an equal share of the pot, so we can all those top 5 teams can be spending similar amounts of money, and like I say, whatever extra Sheikh Mohammed wants to put in won't have that much effect anymore because his extra 100 million won't be as big a portion of what's being spent. I don't see that as a bad thing because unless something changes, we're a mid-table team. But talking solely with an Arsenal hat on, not concerned about what other clubs do, think. For me, unless we start spending at the same rate as these other clubs, we will not be competing with them. And if this is a way to do that, in the end, I'm for it.
Well, George, I just stated my reservations, but we're not going to resolve this. I'm going to let you have the last word on that. We need to bring this to a close. We can't. I think we should give our audience something to chew on. Thanks a lot, George. This has been a very, very interesting discussion, and I hope we can continue going forward.
All right then.
Thank you, George.
See you next week.
Until next week. Thanks a lot, my friend. Bye.
Right.
This concludes another edition of the Positively Uncensored Arsenal podcast. Show your appreciation of our podcast by subscribing and clicking the like button wherever you listen. This really helps in growing our support among honest and biased fans who recognize that Wenger's legacy is fundamental. Free-flowing attacking football by a club with integrity and class. Thanks for listening.